Well, hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Mansa, and in today's video, I have a very simple and delicious garlic and herb creamy chicken recipe. This is a pan-seared chicken, and it is drenched and cooked in this beautiful creamy sauce, and you can eat this with any favorite side of your choice. So without wasting much of your time, let's get right into today's video. So we're gonna start with our chicken breast here. I have two chicken breasts, and this is about 1.7 pounds, so a little under 2 pounds. And I've gone ahead and washed it thoroughly with water and salt and some lemon and pat it dry. Now I'm going in with a sharp knife, and what I want to try to create here is just some incisions. I'm going deep, but not all the way down. You do not want to cut this chicken. I just want to create these incisions. It will help our chicken to cook faster and just create those beautiful, almost like grill marks. Now this is what it looks like, and at this point I was simply just going with some salt and just sprinkle that on the top and also on the bottom. Just evenly spread it, and that will be it. We'll be ready to put that aside and go ahead and mix our spices that we're going to use to marinate this chicken. You guys know that I do not do bland. I go all out with my spices. So now in a bowl, we're going to start off with some garlic powder. All the ingredients will be in the description box below. I also have some onion powder, a little bit of onion powder, going in with some all-purpose seasoning, and I'm using Mr. Make It Happen's all-purpose seasoning. He's a fellow content creator here on YouTube. You can feel free to check him out. So I'm using some of that all-purpose seasoning and also some freshly grounded black pepper. It is assured of all of that good flavor, you guys. And also here I have some chicken bouillon, which is just the stock cubes. And here I have some ground chili. This is optional if you do not like any heat. Now this is a good substitute. This is just paprika, and you know it's sweet. So these are all my spices. This is going to be more like a rub, a dry rub. I love these kind of recipes because you are simply using spices and stuff that you already have in your pantry. Put it together, slap it on some meat or chicken, and you're good to go. So here is my spice mix. I'm just gonna go ahead and sprinkle that evenly all over my chicken. I'm just going in with my hand. You could put, if you have one of those shakers, you could put it in there for more of that even distribution, but we're not doing fancy over here. We just want to get a well marinated and delicious chicken. Now you would see me patting it and also going in the incisions because I want every bite to be packed with so much flavor. I'm gonna go ahead on the flip it on the other side and do the same thing with my chicken. So just use as much as you can tolerate. I know some people, for health reasons, they cannot take a lot of spices, so do whatever you are comfortable with. And I'm telling you, whether you put a little or a lot, the choices we made are so perfect that your food is gonna come out really delicious and you will love it. So I put that aside for about an hour or two, and now I'm ready to cook. I'm using a cast iron skillet, and I'm adding some vegetable oil, just a little bit of vegetable oil, about 2 tablespoons, no more than that. 1 or 2 tablespoons is enough. You want to get this oil nice and hot. And of course, I want to start by infusing my oil with some fresh herbs, and I am going in with a sprig of rosemary. I like the smell and the taste of rosemary. If you don't have rosemary, you can also use thyme. It is also a very good substitute. It would work very perfectly. I'm also going to throw in 1 big clove of garlic. We are starting off by building our flavors and infusing all these herbs and spices in our oil. Now that our oil is nice and hot and our chicken has rested a bit and has marinated, look at that beauty. We're going in face down. The incisions go down first because we want to create more of the charred look. I'm telling you guys, at the end, my husband thought I actually grilled it, but I was like, dude, it's freezing outside. I did not grill it. It was on the pan. So that is what I'm trying to achieve here. So face down with the incisions, and I'll go in with a flat surface, more like any spatula. Anything you have that's flat, just go in with that and kind of pat it down. This will create more like crust on the bottom of that chicken. The grill will give it that restaurant style charred look, and just So much goodness. And now, since my chicken breasts are really nice and thick, I want to make sure that I cook this really good. But now, still building up on the flavors, I am going in with some of my Kerrygold unsalted butter. Very important because I already used enough salt in my spices. So unsalted butter, and that's what I went in and added about 2 tablespoons of that. And if this is your first time on this channel, you are absolutely welcome. My name is Mansa, and to my returning subscribers, you guys are the VIPs. I so appreciate you for always coming back, watching my videos, sharing my videos, leaving me a comment, feedback. I appreciate you guys. So my chicken has been cooking on one side, and I had to flip it over. As you can see, they're nice and chunky. So make sure that your chicken is done. We're still gonna put it in the sauce that we're gonna make, but at this point I am making sure that my chicken is about 95% done. So this in total took about 8 to 10 minutes, especially for the larger one. And now look at that. Oh, look how beautiful that is. Perfectly golden brown, beautiful crust, and well marinated. Okay. Guys, you already know I'm a foodie by this time. When I'm doing these videos, I'll be getting so hungry just looking at the screen. Now, this next step here is so important. We're starting to deglaze these drippings on the bottom of the pan because that's where all the flavors are at. So I'm going in with more unsalted butter, and I am going to start off to make my sauce. This sauce is just as important as the chicken. And this brings me to my next segment. This video is proudly sponsored by our friends at Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for anyone who loves learning and wants to explore their creativity and learn new skills. Do you have a specific skill that you're trying to learn, or do you simply want to level up your skills in your current career? Then Skillshare is definitely the right place to start. There is always something for someone out there. My current favorite class is with Julie Yoon. She is a trained chef, a French trained chef, and she shares a lot of great cooking tips. I particularly liked her class on practical tips for cooking successful sauces because, like I mentioned in my video, a successful sauce provides that perfect base for your cooking at the end. She talks about the 4 steps to achieving a perfect pan sauce. And of course, step 1 cannot be overemphasized. Something as simple as salt and pepper can do a whole lot of good to your cooking, and searing that in that hot oil makes a lot of difference. Also, she talks about adding some shallots or onions. And you can find these and many more creative culinary classes on Skillshare. And I have a special offer for you guys. The first 1,000 people to use my link in the description box will get 1 month free trial of Skillshare. I know you will find something that is of interest to you, and good luck exploring your creativity. So friends, once all that butter is nicely melted, I'm going in with some chopped yellow onions. You could use shallots or red onions, whatever you have. I am only going in with about half a cup or 1/4 of a cup, and I'm also taking out that garlic. I don't want it to get burnt. So I'm just frying the onions in this melted butter and all the chicken drippings, and you would just keep doing this till it becomes translucent, and you would perceive this beautiful aroma from the onions. Now, very important, we're going in with some freshly crushed garlic, about 1 tablespoon. Very important in this recipe. So just add that, and you would notice that the pan is beginning to deglaze and all of the drippings will loosen up. Now, next step, the start of the show, I have here about 1 cup of heavy whipping cream, also known as double cream in the UK. This is what we're going to use. This is what is going to give it some of that creaminess and a very delicate consistency. It is so perfect, so beautiful, and it tastes so good. So at this point, I am just simmering on low heat because a cast iron, it tends to hold on to heat quite a bit. So I'm very careful when I cook with it. Once it heats up, it retains all of that heat. So I am just going ahead and just deglazing any little bits of that chicken drippings that are still in there. And also at this point, I'll go ahead and take out my rosemary. It has already infused in there. Now, next we would add some Parmesan cheese. I have here about half a cup. The more you add, the more cheese you add, the thicker your sauce is gonna get. So if you find that you put a little bit more and it's too thick, just simply go in and add more cream to loosen it up. Okay, so once you add that in, it would begin to simmer. And another good tip, if you have the block of cheese in your store, if you find that, buy it. If you freshly grate it yourself, it's always better than the one that's already grated and packaged at the store. But that was all I had. I could not find any, and I did not want to stress myself out, because over here we're trying to make cooking more enjoyable and less of a chore. So just make do with what you have in your pantry or refrigerator. Adjust the spices to your preference. You can see that I added a little bit of that chicken bouillon, and once we get the sauce all nice and ready, we would reintroduce our chicken in there. And don't forget those chicken juices or drippings that are left on that plate. Add everything in there, baby. You would be so happy that you did. Now my chicken is pretty much done, but I'm gonna let it simmer on low heat in the sauce, and you can see my sauce is getting thicker, and it is just such a beautiful consistency. And the paprika just gave it this really nice light red color that I absolutely love. And also don't forget to scoop some of that good creamy sauce and just spread it all over the top of this chicken, because we're not going to flip over this chicken. I want to retain as much of that beautiful brown and crust on the top as possible. So we're not flipping it, but we still want it to be infused in this beautiful creamy sauce. So what I do is just simply scoop the sauce over the top of this chicken, and it would still retain that beautiful color. And of course, to finish this off, I always go in with some fresh parsley, because parsley is so mild yet so beautiful and just has its own subtle aroma and fragrance that it brings to this dish. It just helps to bring everything together. So once I add that, I actually turn off my heat, and this was our finished product. Really nice and creamy. You can enjoy this with some creamy mashed potatoes, some baked potatoes, some steamed broccoli, anything of your choice. And look at that sauce right there, so perfect. And I always find myself ordering stuff like this whenever I go to the restaurant, and now you can make it at the comfort of your home. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please, if you do, don't forget to support your girl by just clicking on that like button. It helps me know what kind of videos you'd like to see from me, and also just motivates me to do more and also help more people to find this channel. Okay, tell a friend to tell a friend about Mansa, and look at our final product. So beautiful. I love you guys so much, and I would see you in the next one. Stay safe, y'all.